My dear friends, today I want to tell you the powerful story of a simple man who became a hero not through wealth or education, but through his courage, honesty and determination to fight injustice. This is the story of Deva from the movie Coolie. This story teaches us that real strength comes not from your position in society, but from your character and your willingness to stand up for what is right. Deva was a railway station coolie. His job was to carry heavy bags and luggage for passengers. Society looked down on people like him. They considered his work low and unimportant. People treated him like he was invisible. They thought he had no value because he did not wear expensive clothes or work in an office. But Deva had something that money cannot buy. He had dignity. He had self-respect. He took pride in his honest work. He never felt ashamed of earning his living through hard physical labor. He understood that all honest work has honor, regardless of what society thinks about it. This teaches us the first great lesson. Never be ashamed of honest work. Whether you are cleaning floors or running companies, what matters is that you earn your living with integrity. There is no shame in any job that feeds your family and serves society. The shame lies in dishonesty, not in humble work. Deva worked at a busy railway station. Every day, he saw thousands of people traveling to different places with different dreams. He helped them carry their bags with a smile. He treated every passenger with respect, regardless of whether they were rich or poor. His positive attitude made even the most difficult days bearable. The second lesson is about the power of attitude in any situation. Deva could have been bitter about his circumstances. He could have been angry about his poverty. He could have been jealous of wealthy passengers. Instead, he chose to be positive and helpful. This attitude made him respected by everyone who knew him. But Deva's life was not easy. He lived in a small room with his younger sister. He had to work hard every day just to earn enough money for basic needs. He had no savings, no security, and no guarantee of tomorrow's income. Yet he never lost hope or gave up trying to improve his situation. The third lesson is about maintaining hope and dignity even in difficult circumstances. Poverty is a challenge, not a character flaw. How you handle poverty shows your true strength. Deva handled his difficult situation with grace and determination. He never let his circumstances destroy his spirit. Deva's life changed when he witnessed injustice and corruption around him. He saw how powerful people exploited poor workers. He saw how corrupt officials took bribes and made life difficult for honest people. He saw how the system favored the rich and ignored the poor. This made him angry, but it also made him determined to fight back. The fourth lesson is about recognizing injustice and deciding to take action against it. Many people see wrong things happening, but choose to ignore them because they think they cannot make a difference. Deva realized that staying silent in the face of injustice makes you part of the problem. When Deva decided to stand against corruption, he faced many dangers. Powerful people threatened him. They tried to buy him with money. They tried to scare him with violence. But Deva understood that some things are more important than personal safety. Truth and justice were worth fighting for, even if it meant risking his life. The fifth lesson is about having the courage to stand up for your principles even when it is dangerous. Real heroes are not people who face no fear. Real heroes are people who feel fear, but do what is right anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is action in spite of fear. Deva's fight against corruption was not easy. He was just one poor man against a whole system of powerful corrupt people. They had money, influence and connections. He had only his determination and his belief in justice. Many people told him he was foolish to fight against such powerful enemies. But Deva understood something important. Even the most powerful corrupt system depends on the silence and submission of ordinary people. When ordinary people refuse to be silent and submissive, even the most powerful systems can be challenged and changed. The sixth lesson is that ordinary people have more power than they realize. You do not need to be rich or famous to make a difference. You need to be willing to stand up for what is right. When good people unite against injustice, they become a force that no corrupt system can ignore. As Deva's fight continued, he inspired other people to join him. Other railway workers saw his courage and decided to support him. Passengers who had seen his honesty and kindness began to respect his struggle. Slowly, a movement grew around his simple demand for justice and fairness. The seventh lesson is about the power of inspiring others through your example. You cannot force people to join your cause, but you can inspire them through your actions. When people see someone fighting selflessly for justice, they want to support that fight. Leadership is not about commanding others, it is about inspiring others to believe in something bigger than themselves. Deva's enemies tried to destroy him in many ways. They spread false rumors about him. They tried to get him fired from his job. They even tried to harm his family. But each attack only made Deva more determined to fight. He realized that their desperation showed he was succeeding in exposing their corruption. The eighth lesson is about persistence in the face of opposition. When you fight against injustice, the corrupt people will try to stop you in many ways. They will attack your reputation, threaten your livelihood, and try to isolate you from others. But if your cause is just, these attacks will only prove that you are on the right path. One of the most important aspects of Deva's character was his loyalty to his friends and family. Even while fighting powerful enemies, he never forgot his responsibilities to the people he loved. He protected his sister, helped his friends, and maintained his personal relationships. The ninth lesson is about balancing your fight for justice with your personal responsibilities. Fighting for a cause is important, but you must not neglect the people who depend on you. Real strength means being able to fight for justice while still being a good brother, friend, and community member. Deva also showed great respect for women and always protected them from harassment and injustice. He understood that a society's character is measured by how it treats its most vulnerable members. His respect for women was not just politeness, it was a core part of his belief system about human dignity. The 10th lesson is about respecting and protecting all people, especially those who are vulnerable. A man's character is shown by how he treats people who have less power than him. Deva treated everyone with respect because he believed in the basic dignity of all human beings. As the story progressed, Deva's fight attracted the attention of higher authorities. Some honest officials began to investigate the corruption he had exposed. The media started reporting on his struggle. Public opinion began to turn in his favor. His persistence was beginning to pay off. The 11th lesson is that truth and persistence eventually attract support from unexpected sources. When you fight for justice consistently and honestly, good people will notice and want to help. You may start your fight alone, but if your cause is just, others will join you along the way. However, Deva's enemies became more desperate as they saw their corruption being exposed. They planned to eliminate him permanently. They set traps for him and tried to frame him for crimes he did not commit. The situation became very dangerous for Deva and everyone who supported him. The 12th lesson is that the closer you get to victory against corruption, the more dangerous your enemies become. Corrupt people will try their most desperate measures when they see their power slipping away. This is when you need to be most careful and most determined. In the climax of the story, Deva faced his greatest challenge. He had to choose between his personal safety and his commitment to justice. He could have escaped and saved himself, but that would have meant abandoning all the people who trusted him and letting the corrupt system continue to hurt innocent people. Deva chose justice over safety. He decided to face his enemies directly, even though he knew it might cost him his life. This decision showed the true depth of his character. He was willing to sacrifice everything for the principle that justice must prevail over corruption. The 13th lesson is about making sacrifices for principles that are bigger than your personal interests. Sometimes life demands that you choose between what is safe and what is right. Heroes are people who choose what is right, even when it is dangerous. The final confrontation between Deva and his corrupt enemies was not just a physical fight. It was a battle between two different ways of thinking about life. The corrupt people believed that power and money were the most important things. Deva believed that truth and justice were more important than personal gain. In the end, Deva's courage and determination inspired so many people that the corrupt system could not stand against them. The truth was exposed, the corrupt officials were punished, and justice was restored. Deva proved that one honest person with courage can change an entire system. The 14th lesson is that good ultimately triumphs over evil when good people refuse to give up. It may take time, it may require sacrifice, but truth and justice have a power that corruption cannot defeat. Never lose faith that your fight for what is right will eventually succeed. But the story of Coolie teaches us something even more important than victory over corruption. It teaches us about the transformation that happens inside a person who chooses to fight for justice. Deva began as a simple coolie, just trying to make a living. Through his fight against injustice, he became a leader and an inspiration to countless people. The 15th lesson is that fighting for justice transforms you into a better person. When you stand up for what is right, you discover strength you did not know you had. You develop courage you did not know you possessed. You become someone you can be proud of, regardless of what others think. Deva's story also shows us the importance of never judging people by their job or social status. The coolie who carried bags became a hero who carried the hopes of many people. The man that society ignored became someone that society looked up to. His true worth was revealed through his actions, not his position. The 16th lesson is that every person has the potential for greatness, regardless of their current circumstances. Do not judge yourself or others by external appearances. Judge by character, actions and principles. The most powerful people in society may be weak in character, while the poorest people may be rich in courage and integrity. The movie also teaches us about the value of physical work and the dignity of labor. Deva's strength as a coolie helped him in his fight against corruption. His experience dealing with all kinds of people made him wise about human nature. His hard work gave him discipline and determination. The 17th lesson is that every experience in life, even difficult ones, can contribute to your strength and wisdom. Do not waste any experience by feeling sorry for yourself. Use every challenge as training for bigger challenges that may come later. Deva's relationship with his community also teaches us important lessons. He was not fighting just for himself, but for all the poor workers who were being exploited. He understood that individual success means nothing if your community continues to suffer. The 18th lesson is about thinking beyond your personal interests to the welfare of your community. True success includes lifting others up with you. Fight not just for your own rights, but for the rights of everyone who faces the same challenges you face. My dear friends, the story of Coolie reminds us that heroes are not born in palaces or created in schools. Heroes are ordinary people who choose to do extraordinary things when faced with injustice. Heroes are people who refuse to accept that this is just how things are when things are wrong. Deva's story teaches us that your job title does not define your worth. Your bank balance does not determine your value. Your social status does not measure your potential. What defines you is your character, your principles, and your willingness to stand up for what is right. In today's world, we still see many forms of injustice and corruption. We see powerful people exploiting weak people. We see honest workers being treated unfairly. We see systems that favor the rich and ignore the poor. The lessons from Deva's story are as relevant today as they were when the movie was made. You may not be a railway coolie, but you can still learn from Deva's example. In your school, your workplace, your community, there are opportunities to stand up against unfairness. There are chances to help people who are being treated poorly. There are moments when you can choose between staying silent and speaking up for what is right. Remember that every great movement for justice began with one person who decided to take a stand. That person was not necessarily rich, famous, or powerful. That person was someone who saw injustice and decided to do something about it. You can be that person in your own situation. The story of Coolie also reminds us to treat service workers with respect and dignity. The next time you see someone doing physical labor, remember Deva. Remember that their work has value and their dreams have worth. Treat them with the same respect you would want to receive. Whether you become a doctor, engineer, teacher or business person, never forget the lesson of the coolie. Success is not about rising above others. It is about lifting others up with you. Power is not about controlling people. It is about serving people. Leadership is not about being served. It is about serving others. Deva's badge as a coolie was not a mark of shame, but a symbol of honest work and dignified service. Whatever badge you wear in life, wear it with pride if you earn it honestly. Fight for justice wherever you find yourself. Stand up for the weak and oppressed. Use your strength to protect those who cannot protect themselves. The true message of Coolie is this: greatness is not determined by what you do for a living, but by how you live while doing what you do. Heroism is not about having superpowers. It is about having the courage to use whatever power you have for good. Your circumstances today do not determine your impact tomorrow. Like Deva, you can transform from someone society ignores into someone society admires. The transformation begins when you decide that justice is more important than comfort, truth is more valuable than safety, and serving others is more fulfilling than serving only yourself. Stand up, speak out, and never give up. The world needs more people like Deva, ordinary people who do extraordinary things, because they believe in something bigger than themselves. This is the eternal lesson of the coolie. Dignity comes not from your job, but from how you do your job. Respect comes not from your position, but from your principles. And heroism comes not from your circumstances, but from your choices. Be the hero of your own story. Fight the good fight. Keep the faith. And remember, even a coolie can change the world.